Welcome back in, everybody, to a Thursday edition of Birds 365, a nightcap edition here on the show as we recap day number 2 of the Philadelphia Eagles on the field at training camp. Technically day 3 because they reported on Tuesday, but day 2 of practice today, recapping it here on Birds 365. We dove into the offense, John. We talked about all the things over there, and I want to get into the defense a lot here in this upcoming hour and for the next 30-plus minutes and change, and we get to do it with another guy who was down at practice today, and that's the great Jeff Kerr, who joins us right here on Birds 365. Jeff, I'm not used to seeing you on a Thursday night. How you doing, brother?
Pretty good. Football's back, Zander. You know, I wasn't excited Monday. I'm a little more excited today.
Yeah, good. I'm happy to hear it, Jeff. I'm fired up, brother.
I'm ready to go.
And by the way, do you have a heart out still? I know you were going to the movies, so
I do have a heart out. I gotta go see.
You got a heart out.
I gotta go see Galactus face the Fantastic Four tonight.
Oh gosh, you movie heads.
Fantastic Four.
All right, when's your heart out so I know?
What's that?
When's your heart out so I know?
When's my heart out? We can go 7:20. We got plenty of time.
We'll get you out of here 7:15-ish, 7:20. Jeff, real quick, starting the defense, man. What'd you see there? Now we didn't talk to you yesterday, so I'll give you a chance to opine on both days. What have you seen? What has stuck out to you from your early thoughts and early viewing of training camp here to start the 25 season?
Well, day one, I was impressed with JAKIB Campbell. I mean, just the fact he was on the field. I mean, John and I mean, how many times did we tell you, Xander, that we just didn't expect this guy to be out here until August, and we were thinking mid-August, and so seeing him on day one was a real treat because we just haven't seen anything out of the guy outside of Vic Fangio kind of having him off to the side and doing stuff with him. But I'll tell you what, maybe John can agree with me on this. He looks the part.
Well, yeah, I mean, he's definitely very athletic, rangy. He's got everything you need to be a big-time, player on the defensive side of the football. I think he's a unique player as well. I think he's going to be a different style of player than Eagles fans are used to, because I do think he's going to be a bit of a hybrid ultimately when Vic gets him up to speed and ready to go. But yeah, I was happy to see him. And Vic had a great line today about the training staff understating so they can overachieve. It's interesting, though. He was asked about, is there any chance that the trainers are underestimating when Nakobe Dean can come back? Because he had said that nice little quip about the training staff. And he said, I don't think so. So that part is holding up to be true, because again, a very serious injury that happened in January, January. So
yeah, John, that was the question I felt the least amount of confidence for Vic. You could tell that one gave him some pause.
Yeah. It was very quick, 4 words. I don't think so. So it's going to be a while. And for Jihad, it's positive, and he's going to be able to play. It's going to be interesting. Now to me, it comes down to, can Jeremiah Trotter Jr. hold off Jihad Campbell to be the week 1 starter? And that's something to keep an eye on. Because I think Trotter's looked pretty good. I do want to ask you about that play. Everybody's made a big thing about that play. Now, I think you were on the field. I was up in the bleachers. To me, it looked like he should have made the play. It was a layered pass down the middle. Really, from my view, it was thrown into some pretty significant coverage. And I was like, oh, that's probably not going to work. And all of a sudden, Dallas Goedert comes up with it. But other people I saw say it was a great layered throw. Where are you on that throw? That's the thing about, it's not TV. We can't rewind it. We can't look at it 15 times. Where are you on that throw where Dallas Goedert made the catch? And Trotter was right there. But to me, it looked like he didn't track the football well.
Yeah, I thought Trotter was in position to make the play, and I actually thought Trotter should have made the play, but I wanted to give Jalen credit for just basically putting that throw right to Goddard and Goddard described it today. He was asked about it, and he said, "Look, when I got the route, he saw Jalen throw it, and he said it looked like it was coming to him, but they say he saw 3 defenders. They just kind of got in the way there, and one of them Trotter, but Trotter looked like the one he could have got his hand on the football at the very least. But I mean, give credit to Trotter for having the instincts to be in that position. But this is what we were concerned about him. Can he actually make the play when he gets in the position? And I want to give Jalen credit for the throw, but this is what I worry about with Trotter.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, coverage is going to be the biggest issue, I think, with Trotter as a linebacker, because I think he's very instinctive in the run game. And I think he's going to be fine there in run support. But the coverage part of it, Jihad's just a much better athlete. You saw that on what day are we? Wednesday, you saw where, he was running with, it was Danny Gray, who's a 4.33 guy. And Tanner McKee threw it. It was a little bit behind him, but Jihad was in a position to make the play and had a pass breakup. Now today was Jahan Dotson, same play. Jahan's fast too. Not quite as fast as Danny, but 4.4 guy. And Jahan's a better receiver, and Jahan dusted him. It wasn't
it wasn't close.
It wasn't a competition. Yeah, it wasn't close, but also a better throw as well. So, but if you're comparing Jihad Campbell to Jeremiah Trotter Jr., yeah, he's much more athletic to be in coverage. I would say that's going to be a big advantage for him versus Trotter. So that should turn into a competition maybe that we didn't expect to see because we didn't think Jihad would be healthy.
Yeah, I wrote on I did a depth chart, 53-man roster projection for today for CBS, and I put the asterisks with Dean, but and again, we still don't know how long he's going to be on the PUP list. It could be at the start of the year; they could create a roster spot there. But when I was looking down at position by position competitions, I agree with you, John. This is a competition we didn't think we were going to be seeing. We thought maybe Smile Monda could get into the picture if Campbell wasn't ready yet, but now that he's here, this is probably the competition I'm looking forward to the most in camp. And keep in mind, we got a good cornerback and safety competition on defense.
Yeah, no, that's true, Jeff, and that's where I want to go next. Good conversation on Jihad Campbell. Well, Jeff, a lot of people are turning on their Phillies mode. Like you lose a game for the Phillies, and it's like the team sucks. Well, now Keely Ringo's got a bad day, and it's like, Keely Ringo sucks. We need a corner. What have you seen from Keely Ringo?
I'll apologize to Eagles fans on this. You can have an Eagles attitude when you're watching the Eagles.
Yes, no doubt. What have you seen from Ringo so far, Jeff?
It looked better on day 2 than he did day 1. Day 1, A.J. Brown took him to school on that go route that Jalen Hurts threw to him. And look, A.J. Brown's a really good quarterback. He's going to do that to a lot of people, and that's what I wrote in my takeaways from that day. But I wasn't – Terrence Marshall kind of made a fool out of him a couple times too. And, yeah, I know Terrence Marshall's – go ahead, John.
Terrence Marshall's, yeah, he's a good receiver. I don't know what happened in Carolina. Maybe Carolina just is terrible.
Carolina. They're a bad organization.
It's Carolina. Somebody was like, "You didn't work in Carolina." I'm like, and he might be good.
He was a second-round draft pick. It wasn't like he was terrible.
Yeah, he was a big-time player at LSU. He's just obviously the best wide receiver room in the country at the time. Yeah, but my issue with Terrace is like, how do you fit him on the roster? I don't know how you fit him on the roster because he's not going to play. He's not going to play above AJ or Devontae or Jahan. So, again, if you're down on the depth chart as a receiver, you got to play special teams. He doesn't play special teams. So I don't know how you fit him on the roster is my problem with Terrace Marshall. But, he's easily their 4th best receiver. If that is the only thing you're worried about, easily their 4th best receiver. By far, I would say. By a wide margin.
I honestly put, when I did this roster projection, like Terrence Marshall, if you're just grading him 1 through 5, he's 4. And then who knows who 5's going to be? Like, if you just want to pick 4 receivers, he's one of the 4. But then where do you go from there? And
Yeah.
I know you guys talked offense earlier, but yeah, that 5th receiver battle is going to be something too between Nye Smith, Johnny Wilson, Danny Gray, Taylor Morin. He could make the bet. Avery Williams could. That's going to be really interesting too.
Yeah, we'll see. It's interesting.
I like the Taylor Morin drop. Yeah.
Well, he did.
I like Taylor Morin
as you like to big time me today, McMullen. When I had to give out my little factoid that he led the nation in punt return average, he goes, "Yeah, I already knew that."
Well, you watch Birds 365. You should know that because I already mentioned that.
Well, I know
he's
you
got a lot of Brit and
but...
Cubby to him.
Yeah, well, I had to do some digging on Taylor.
Yeah. On Taylor. No, I was just giving you shit.
Yeah,
I'm a dick. I was told by Brooks Cabina of The Athletic. Yeah,
I was here for this one.
I was told we're getting a delay, so I apologize. But yeah, Brooks. I told Brooks evidently I don't remember this because Brooks is wearing pants. And by the way, Brooks is from Houston. Why the hell is he wearing long pants to training camp?
And he wears long pants every day for you.
Yeah, it's bizarre. I'm like, don't put too much credence in my shit talk.
Hey, Zander, remember I called him Monday.
I said don't listen to me.
I said he's an asshole, but we all love him.
Yes, it's very true, Jeff. Jeff, I want to ask you about the safety. I just want to run through this defense while I got you up here, Jeff. I know you got to run soon, but what have you seen from safety? I think that's the one that's still pretty wide open, dude. I don't really know if Makuba is there. I can't really tell which way Vic is leaning. What have you seen through 2 days of camp?
I mean, your guess is as good as mine. They had Andre Sam out with the first team today. If I made an educated guess, I think they want Makuba to win it, but they're going to give Sidney Brown the first crack at it. But I don't think this is his job to lose. I think it's his job to win. Same with Andrew Makuba. I'm not counting out Tristan McCollum by any means, but I really do think the player they want to see start week 1 is Andrew Makuba.
Yeah, I mean, he's the guy who fits Vic's defense. No doubt about that. Now, I don't think either of them have shown up much in 2 days. Again, it's only 2 days, and by the way, they haven't shown up from a bad standpoint and they haven't shown up from a good standpoint. So I think they've just been solid. And that matters to Vic. I think that's positive. But there haven't been many plays on the defensive side of the ball. I brought this up a couple of times, Jeff. The ball doesn't hit the ground from the offensive perspective. I think Jalen had 2 incompletions today, but they're also not stretching the field. So it's all underneath stuff for the most part. Again, the layered throw to Dallas Goedert. There was a throw to Devontae Smith that might have been 15 yards or so.
It was a boring practice today in terms of actually.
Yeah, well, I'm glad you used that word because and people think of being negative. It has been boring. It's like there's no big plays on offense. There's no big plays on defense. It's just I think they're practicing what they preach, and that's ball security. And the offense is hyper focused on not turning it over, and that makes it difficult for the defense to turn it over. Zach Bond had a nice pass breakup today. What is your biggest play in today's practice?
I mean, can we go with the Hurts ball to Goddard that Trotter?
Well, that's what I went with because it's the high profile guy. I think the biggest play was, and I don't even know who threw it. I think Kyle threw it. Was a nice pass over the middle to Danny Gray, which was about 20 yards.
That was toward the end of practice, right?
Yeah, that was the longest play of the day that I saw. Which it was about 20 yards.
Yeah, you're right. Like they've just been super conservative with, like you said, John. It's all about ball security right now. Like I had to do takeaways from around the league before I came on here, and I'm watching some of Chiefs practice, some of Bengals practice for what they're able to show. And those
big plays all over the place.
Yeah, there's big plays. Like the Chiefs are throwing deep bombs to Xavier Worthy. It's like in the 4th quarter of the Super Bowl. And I'm like, oh, okay. Like, I don't know why the Eagles can't do this. But then again, the Eagles are world champions. It's hard to argue with what they're doing.
Yeah. Yeah. It's interesting though, but I'm glad you said that because it's, not only me, but
John, I thought your explanation about the things to practice on was what I think is happening.
Yeah. Well, that part of it too. I would say it took me about 10 years to learn how to watch an NFL practice. And I'm not exaggerating by any stretch.
I'm still learning how to watch an NFL practice.
And I think you have to understand what you don't know. And as JJ Watt tweeted out today, there's a lot of things we don't know. And there are things like Doug used to have practices. I talked with Doug. They would have landmark practices where they would just practice the screen game. That might have been the most boring practice I've ever seen in my life. They're just practicing their landmarks of where they're supposed to be to set up to throw a proper screen. And that's the offensive lineman, obviously the backs, and obviously the quarterback. So there's a lot of times they're working on different things, and they don't make us aware of it. They're not giving us. Occasionally, they'll do a situational practice where Nick Sirianni will be on the bullhorn, and we can hear it, and they're working on 4th and 5 from the backed up or something of that nature. But you don't know what they're trying to accomplish. And JJ Watt, I don't know if you saw it today, Jeff. He's a fellow CBS guy now.
Yeah, you know what? I did see that tweet when I was scanning throughout the league today. I'm like, you know what? That's a good point he brought up. Like, it's that whole
it's a great tweet. Everybody should read it because it's 100%.
You don't know what you don't know what you don't know, but he further explained.
Yeah. And like I said, to training camp stats thing, all right, the Eagles haven't thrown an interception. They haven't thrown a touchdown. At some point, they're going to work on red zone, and they might throw not 16, but they might throw 5-6 touchdowns in one period, because you're in the red zone.
That's why I get so upset with practice stats. Like, and again, I bowl, and I've told people this, I bowl. I'm not trying to shoot a 300 game when I'm practicing. I'm trying to work on my hand positioning, my turn of the ball, like my release. I'm sure these guys, professional athletes, are working on this too. I'm just a rec guy. Like,
now I called because I want to talk to you about that before you have to go. I called the right guard competition. Am I overstating that?
No. I wrote about that today too. I'm like, if it's a competition, I like to know who's competing.
Yeah.
I mean, Kenyon Green's out. Tyler Steen's the guy. I mean, was it Mulatto or Johnson yesterday that basically said Steen's name and then went like competition? I'm like, yeah, okay, come on.
Yeah. Well, and that, people will hold on to Kenyon Green because he's, a first round pick, and he's the reclamation project, and he's this year's Mekhi Becton. When he was healthy, he wasn't even working at right guard. He was working at left guard. So I'm not sure when he's healthy or deemed healthy, he's going to come in and all of a sudden it's going to be a competition. Now, where I do think there could be, and I go back to Isaac Seumalo, I said that, Isaac's first year as a starter, he wasn't ready, didn't play well. They benched him in season for Stephen Wisniewski. I could see that happening and say, all right, Tyler's not playing well. Let's play Matt Pryor. I could see that happening, but it's not going to be week one. It's not going to be week one.
Yeah. You know what, John? One of the battles, too, and probably will get into this because, again, this is a 2-hour show and we'll have weeks to dissect it. Who the heck are the backup offensive linemen ultimately going to be on this?
It's a good question.
Well, they have so many of them. I'm not concerned. I mean,
it's a good problem to have.
Yeah, you can't replace, first of all, guys like Lane and Jordan and Landon and Cam. You can't replace those guys, but so you're going to have a downtick. But I don't think anybody has more good backup offensive linemen than the Eagles. Like, is Kendall Lamb even going to make this team? I don't know.
I had him making it, but let me tell you, I'm about 30% sure he's going to make it.
Guys started like 44 NFL games. I mean, and played at an acceptable. Matt Pryor could play 4 different positions at an acceptable level.
And it was a valuable piece on this Super Bowl team just 7 years ago. I mean, doesn't feel like it was 8 years ago, but good player for them.
Yeah. Drew Kendall, they finally have a legitimate backup center.
Who you and I think could start in this league.
Eventually, I don't mean as a rookie, but I think eventually he's going to be a starting center.
Yeah.
And Trevor Keegan. I mean, you could see Stoutland's trying to keep Trevor Keegan. Nobody even talks about Trevor Keegan.
Trevor Keegan's one of the nicest guys in the locker room too. I love talking to him.
Yeah, we'll see.
Now he's playing center. Yeah, cross training. They have a lot of back, and then you have the draft picks. Some of the scouts, man, were raving about Miles Hinton. So they like him a lot.
Yeah, I don't think they can try to stash him on the practice squad. I don't think that's going to happen. Maybe Cam Williams, but I had him making it right now.
Yeah, we'll stay. Wait, one other player, Jeff, because I know you're tight on time. There's one other player I want to talk to you guys both about, Jeff. While you're here, John, we'll kick it around a little later in the show as well. There's one guy that's given me a lot of optimism early in training camp, and it's from him. It's from the way he spoke. It's from the way he now has appeared to show up at camp, and that's Jordan Davis. What have you guys seen from Jordan Davis through the first 2 days? Anything there that makes you more confident, or am I overstating what we've seen so far? I thought the shape that he was in was a very good sign, and I thought today his comments were excellent as well.
Yeah, I mean, look, I asked Jordan Davis, what did you change? And he pretty much said, I did this for my teammates. Like, it was pretty much him saying, I looked in the mirror without looking in the mirror, and why he was able to do the things, why he wanted to do this. And look, I think he can relate to every American that wants to lose weight, right? You look good, you feel good, but more importantly, this is his career. Like, he knows this is a big year for him. And
I heard a change of heart in his voice though, Jeff. Like he said, so the one thing he said that stood out was, I understand my role here is bigger than others. Like I felt like he realized I'm not supposed to be just a 25% of the snap run stuffer. They want me to be one of the guys on defense that leads this football team, both on the field and off the field. And I felt like for the first time, he really understood that and took it seriously, and it's proof. And proof is in the pudding in the way he looks.
And it's funny too, because I remember I've talked with him about a couple of this stuff last year, and I mentioned to him once, what I do? I don't drink soda. I don't drink, and he mentioned, hey, you don't drink juice. Like he called it the juices, called it the sugars and stuff, and that's what I said. I'm like, that's what I do. I don't, maybe he's younger than me, but it's amazing how he's 25 years old and he's already realizing like how his body reacts. That to me is incredible. It took me till like I was 30 to know all this stuff, but again, when you have the best nutritionist in the world and you're getting probably the best advice in the world from a lot of people in that Eagles building, I'm just impressed that the Eagles told him 330 to 339 or in the 330s, and he comes in like literally at the lowest he can come in, 330.
Yeah, I lost 26 pounds, according to Jordan himself. So, it's interesting to me. It's because you're right. Everything from a health standpoint, as somebody who needs to lose weight, I could say that certainly everything he's doing is a positive. Unfortunately, he has a job that is often not healthy, to be honest, from a larger perspective. And to me, that's what it comes down to. Like, I don't know, because I'm not in Tampa any longer, but I don't think anybody's telling Vita Vea to lose weight.
I don't think so either.
So there's this little bit of disconnect. There's a little bit of disconnect that, all right, I think the Eagles want him to be more, but is this going to take away from what he's good at? Or is it going to make it? And it could work either way. I'm not saying it is, but
do you think, John, maybe
when you have just a strong run stopping?
Do you think, like, maybe because of his success rushing the passer, especially late last year, they said, okay, well, maybe if he sheds this off, we can untap this more consistently instead of him playing 13 snaps, 15 snaps. We could get more out of him.
Yeah, I think that's exactly it. Because if you look at Vic's question, Vic was asked about Morrow replacing Milton Williams in run defense, and basically went off onto a tangent where he said, "Yeah, I think Mo did a good job last year. Blah blah blah. I think Milton's reps will be divided up between him, Jordan playing more, and we'll see what Ty Robinson can do." So he's expecting sort of a village to replace Milton Williams. And that means Jordan Davis has to do more as a pass rusher. So, but again, it's easier to stop the run in this league if you're 350 than it is you're still big dude. But again, I don't know what Vita Vea is, 347, 348. Nobody's asking Vita Vea to lose weight, but nobody's expecting him to be some kind of super pass rusher either, other than push the pocket. So it's an interesting nose tackles. Let's be honest, are not usually healthy by traditional standards.
Yeah, they need to be fat.
Yep.
I mean,
They're usually overweight.
Yeah, to not be politically correct. You got to be fat.
Yeah. You never told a Lodi Nada to lose weight, as what John said with Via. You're not. This isn't a thing in Tampa, as far as I know.
Yeah.
Well, does that highlight maybe what the Eagles want him to be? Maybe they don't want him to be the nose tackle. I mean, they did spend the 13th overall pick on him. Now, I know that's history, but you typically don't draft a run stuffer to be that high. Maybe this is proof that, don't you think, like, if he was losing all this weight and they wanted him to be the run stuffer, they would have been like, yeah, hey, Jordan, I'm happy you're liking the Peloton and everything, but we need you to be a big boy. They didn't say that. They're happy that he's looking good. Or at least I think they are.
No, that's what I would think, right? And look, I know he likes the Peloton. I know he likes doing all this stuff, but look, I didn't mind him at 350. I thought that was fine, but I guess
no,
when
I'm
you
just
lose,
shedding light on maybe they want him to be a different role. Like John brings up the point, nobody's asking Vita Vea to lose weight because they know what they want Vita Vea to be. Maybe they want Jordan Davis to be the guy that could take over for Milton Williams. I mean, as Vic alluded to kind of in his response that John just read out.
Well, I think they do want him to do more. And that, is that the right avenue? Would they have a different conversation if Milton Williams was back? And they didn't need him to do, like, now I think they need him to do more.
Right.
Because they lost Milton. But is that going to affect what he does really well? I don't know. Maybe. Maybe not.
We'll see. Let's let Jeff Kerr go. Jeff, thank you, man. Any final thought before you run? Enjoy the movie tonight, and thanks for checking in with us for the second time this week, Jeff. We appreciate it. Your final thought, brother.
You know what? It's like I'm just ready for the Pats at this point, Xander. Maybe when I come on Monday, we'll.
No, don't do that, Jeff. We waited for camp. Now you already want the next thing. Enjoy the process, Kerr.
I don't like shells and shorts.
I hear you.
I'm not a fan.
I got you.
I mean, it's hard to gauge anything. See, I can't get my words right tonight.
I got you. All right, Jeff. Enjoy the movie tonight, brother. We'll talk to you
next
week.
Wait. One more.
Right.
If I'm on the delay, but one more. What'd you think about Vic shutting down the Jalen Hunt talk? Do you think it was too harsh?
You know what? Well, first off, it was all pro Coop. So we got that clarification.
Yeah, he wasn't concerned about that, but he called the love for Jalen Hunt reckless. You think that was overdoing it?
I think that was Vic trying to do some damage control before some quotes got a little out of hand.
Yeah.
I think
they didn't blow up like I thought they would.
Did they? I don't pay attention to the aggregate. I thought they would blow up.
But not crazy.
Yeah, it wasn't like Michael Penix saying today, we're going to have the number one offense in football. Let's just put it that way.
Nah, Michael Penix. Shut up, Mike. Michael Penix. Do something before you talk like that about the rest of the league. Jeff, great show tonight. Tell Barkley we love him. You don't need to yell at Barkley. No. I love hearing Barkley. So do the rest of the
That wasn't Barkley. That was my sister's dog. I'm watching him.
Oh, that's why you're like, shut the fuck up, because you don't have any
that was Finley.
You don't have
Finley doesn't know any better.
Yeah, that's fine.
My sister's got
hey, Finley can speak up as well. I'm pro dog.
I'm pretty sure they both have visitors too, because I've been hearing noises in the background. So
all right, Jeff. Thanks, dude. We'll catch you later. All right, brother.
Yeah, sounds great. Thanks, guys.
All right, thanks, guys.
Thanks, Jeff.
Make sure you guys follow him at Jeff Kerr CBS. Read his work at cbssports.com. Thanks to him for checking in. Good camp takeaways from Jeff Kerr. John, I do kind of want to dive into the defense. Should we take a break? You are on a delay. Maybe I need to be the one that reboots, Johnny. I don't know
because you guys are not on a delay for me, but evidently I'm on a delay for everybody. So I think that makes it my fault, but I don't know why I'm on a delay. So
yeah, me and Jeff's audio were in sync. You were a little bit back.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Now, to me, I could hear both of you guys perfectly, but it was
clear. I can hear you guys. You're coming through clear. It's just a couple seconds late. That's all. But it's good. Yeah. It's good, John. We'll keep it right here. I want to reset, John, and just kind of dive back into the defensive side of the ball here. Let's continue with Jordan Davis first, John. It's an interesting conversation, but I did think I don't know. I just sense a different player, John. Now, again, maybe I'm an Eagle fan and I'm just trying to see the good in it, but I felt like he's a different dude up at the podium. You know, he showed up obviously looking the way he does. And, you know, maybe you're right. It's not a good thing for a nose tackle, but I think it's a good thing overall to be in the type of shape that he's in. And then I listened to his presser today and I'm like, geez, something changed with Jordan. Maybe it was, maybe John, it was a conversation from Howie. Hey, I'll give you your 5th-year option. We're not extending you yet. You got to go